Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series as we are back again here at Charlotte. But we're going road course racing instead, as last week we tackled the oval and we've seen Tiffany Ellis get her second win of the season already. Now the question is, can she do it on the road? She's already conquered the mile and a half oval, tri-oval, the mile and a half quad oval, but the road course is a different animal. It looks like the time has advanced enough that we're now into the morning, as it was a little bit dark for sure, and maybe they were qualifying at about 2 a.m. Apparently. But either way, we're here at 9 a.m. now for the race, and these drivers will be able to see. They want to reuse those headlights on the front of the car because they're just stickers. Yes, exactly. So, Carl Edwards, joined in the booth by Jimmy Goer. Jimmy here at the Roval at Charlotte for one of the road races this season.
Yeah, obviously road racing and part of NASCAR, and they get out there and they do a few. It's not a common thing. These cars are wide, they're heavy, the brakes stink. It's all about throttle control. There's all kinds of things out there that will mess things up, and my overlays just turned on by themselves, so I'm not quite sure what's going on here at the moment, but we'll just see if we get those cleared up here in just a second. Oh, actually, they're not on your screen, so that's good. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and run down the list here. It's going to be Justin Potts with Brian Roy on the front row here tonight, with Dylan Emerson, Chris Ledford there for your row number 2, Thomas O'Connor and TJ Hanley, row number 3, row number 4, Kyle Emerson and Michael Garcia. Tiffany Ellis is going to start back in row number 5 with Ron Millam, Jay Monin, and Cody Handler back in row number 6. Anthony Emerson, Bruce Spencer back in row number 7, row number 8, Richard Covington Jr. and Josh Duncan, and then Will O'Connor and Matthew Hake make up row number 9. So tonight that is and there's a couple more, so I can fast forward here. So we got Dylan Jacobs out there as well, and Austin Wells, and one more you have and 21st you have Kelly Akron. So 21 car field here tonight, Carl. So nice little size field for these drivers to kind of figure their way out and get things done here tonight. So I wish them all the best of luck. See who can conquer the road, keep it safe, keep it on the track, and get this thing done here tonight.
Yeah, and maybe a little preview for the chase race of Fontana. That's going to be I'm thinking of Sonoma. There is actually, I believe. I thought there was one more race. Yeah, there is. Last race of the regular season is Watkins Glen, and it'd be the last chance for somebody to win their way into the chase. As it stands right now, we have 6 different winners on the season, and that being Chase Bullard, TJ Hanley, Josh Duncan, Justin Potts, Tiffany Ellis, and Dylan Jacobs for your winners here, the ones that are locked in to the playoffs and for the chase. So we'll see if anybody else can jump up there, get a win here tonight. The driver leading the points is Dylan Jacobs. Tiffany Ellis and Justin Potts tied for second. I'm not sure if that is updated though, because it's only showing one win for Tiffany Ellis. I think the boards are actually still mistaken, because I think it actually still has.
I think you had a couple different overlays going on, Carl. I think I don't know if yours are still on.
No, I'm looking at the points on the website. Either way, we're going to get ready to see tonight's race here at the Charlotte Roval. And again, luckily it's in the daytime, so you can see a little bit better, because you definitely have the lights on the outside on the oval part of the track. You get to the infield and it's dark. It's not like Daytona, where they're used to hosting the Rolex 24. They're used to running on their Roval there, and there's lights on the infield. Here, there's not. Whether they have any plans for it eventually, I don't know. I don't know if it's popular enough to get that much involved, but it's time to go racing here at the Charlotte Roval. And they'll head into the kink here at the end, a little bus stop before the start-finish line. Justin Potts, Brian Roy on the front row as green flag is out, and we are racing at Charlotte.
Yeah, and away they go here. Is a nice jump there by Justin Potts. But they're going to go too wide, and the 82 goes sideways in front, in the back there. They're going to do some major avoids there. That's Brian Roy going around already. That's going to allow the field to go out. There is no full course cautions here, and a few others getting involved there as well. So we're going to have to go back and check out to see what happened there with Brian Roy on the start. Maybe just getting a little bit on the throttle too early. Maybe just
a little on the brakes. Yeah, a little too heavy on the brakes, and maybe trying to get in there a little too aggressively. And I mean, it's a cattle chute through the first couple corners here, and he tries to back it up and back it up even more. Backs it up right into the 83 of Matthew Hake, and you see right there the 24 and 21 having to park it and be involved in the parking lot right there to start this thing. Looks like TJ Hanley not making the start of this race as well, so pretty interesting here. We're only gonna have a 20 car field, not 21, but Justin Potts leads the way, already out to a 2.5 second lead because Chris Ledford was the next one in line. He was able to get through Dylan Emerson, Thomas O'Connor, Michael Garcia for your top 5. How about Dylan Jacobs? Already up 11 spots. Clearly qualifying wasn't kind to him. Not sure if he even got a lap in, but he's got that 5 already up into 8th place.
That's a lot of spots early on here. Obviously making up for drivers getting caught up there and being able to make it around. So obviously drivers continue to have some issues. There was somebody slow there. I don't know who it was. That was Austin Wells having a little bit of an incident. So some early incidents are here early on. See if we can find out what happened here. And this is Josh Duncan with a move there from this really tight chicane. There's a spin there by Austin Wells. So nice move there by the 77 coming up through the field here. But yeah, big time right now is Dylan Jacobs, obviously the man on the move. Your leader is Justin Potts. Chris Ledford there in P number 2 in the Bluey machine. And then Dylan Emerson back there in the number 6 Allegra. In 4th is Thomas O'Connor. Tiffany Ellis, though, in the 9, making her move here, Carl, up in P number 5.
Hottest driver on the planet right now is the 9 of Tiffany Ellis, trying to get another win here, go back-to-back and dominate Charlotte on the road and the Roval, but gonna be tough here tonight for sure. Looks like Kyle Emerson picking up a black flag. I'm not sure what the reason was for, but already in pit lane right now, and not sure if he's getting some damage repaired or what the case is, but Justin Potts leads the way here, and the intervals kind of holding steady at 2 seconds. Maybe Chris Ledford finally getting control of it here, but Potts just ran the fastest lap of the race, 125.04, so not cracking into the 24s just yet. The one thing that's nice is, the newer layout here of the Roval, where the infield section is maybe a little bit easier to maneuver. Before, you used to come down the little straightaway here, you had the right-hand turn, and it was a little miniature straightaway, and then you turn right away and into another right-hand turn, and it got a little bit difficult getting on the throttle. But here, a little bit more sweeping, a little bit more fluid, and then a hard hairpin right here that you're going all the way down, probably down to first gear to try and get this thing rotated around, and then using that banking to gain a little bit of speed coming back through, as we look at an incident here with Kelly Akron going through turn number 1, and just a little bit too much throttle.
A little bit too much throttle, trying to get that thing going, and being in them lower gears. And it's kind of one thing, these drivers might not be used to, is getting in the right gear, matching RPMs to speed, and then applying that throttle. These cars have a ton of power, especially in the lower gears. That's why you see them doing burnouts, and when they win and they have victory lane and stuff, they're not busting out any traction control. They just stomp the gas and turn a wheel and throw smoke up on the field for everybody. So, but it is really easy to get them around, and obviously fell victim to that here. But Justin Potts not falling victim yet, and that's a nice little lead, but holding steady with Chris Ledford. Dylan Emerson not too far behind. Thomas O'Connor, the M&M's machine out there, and then Tiffany Ellis in the 9 starting to close in just a little bit. So I would imagine maybe a battle kind of going here, and might as well talk about it now, Carl, because we're not going to have cautions. So pit entry and pit strategy, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I think as much as you may not need to take tires, you're going to want to take tires here on the pit stops. I'm not sure how far they're getting out there on the fuel strategy, but heck, if it's 5 laps on fuel, I'm still probably wanting to take tires here just to feel comfortable getting through this track, because it's not the most difficult. You know, the Rovals typically aren't that difficult to kind of maneuver around. Because especially you got half the track here. That is the Charlotte Roval. You're going through the Charlotte Roval turn 1 and 2 right now down the back stretch. Then you have the little bus stop here in the back section of the track. So you're going down there pretty slow. You want to avoid those curbs though, because the curbs can bite you if you try and get a little bit too much off of that. As far as the pit stop, you're obviously going to be going a little bit slower than you typically are in the oval, so it makes the pit stop easier. But as far as strategy, yeah, if I need fuel, I'm taking tires.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to have some nice tires. I never was a huge fan of road racing with the NASCAR. You can see right here on board with Cody Handler. It does look like Michael Garcia having an incident there right before the start-finish line off to the left side of the track. But here we are, definitely making our way around here. We're down to 21 laps, only 4 laps in so far, Carl, and a lot of action and a few big mistakes happened so far.
Yeah, 25 laps here on the Roval, not the oval, as you were mistaken earlier tonight, thinking it was going to be just a sprint race here tonight on the oval. But 25 laps is a good amount of time here, considering it's about a minute and a half to get around at this track here tonight. So it should be a little over 30 to 45 minutes here tonight, depending on how many times you got to come into the pits. But as you said, no cautions out here tonight to slow up the field at all. But it also means that your mistakes are amplified. You make one little mistake, you've seen a few cars now make the mistake into turn number 1, or you get a black flag, or what have you, that gives you any kind of issues, and you're not going to be able to recover. Unless the other 19 drivers out there have some kind of mistake as well, you're kind of set to have to try and fight your way back through and battle your way back through. But did see right there, even though it's daylight, that 91 had some glowing rotors on the front end of that car, just trying to slow that thing down. And you got to wonder, it's I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to put it in the minds of the iRacing gods, but we don't really deal with any kind of mechanical failures just out of the blue. It would be interesting to see every once in a while, or even if leagues could kind of set up a percentage chance of something happening, but of like a brake failure, like a brake rotor getting just too hot and not wanting to work anymore, or things like that. Just any kind of weird things. More often than not, you would feel that they're going to happen here on these road courses, because the cars are built for the ovals. I know they can handle the road, but not very well. So you wonder how they would hold up over a longer race here. But luckily, only 25 laps out here for these drivers here tonight. We do already have Justin Potts into the 24s, and in there very well, 24.42, which is why he's now got a 6.5 second lead.
Doing a fantastic job just to find the speed here tonight. Just kind of be half a second faster than your competitors here early on can lead to allow you to take your time through the corners a little bit more and just hit them marks, and just doing that just a little bit better here than the rest. And so having a fantastic race so far, got the pole here and starting to walk away. So good showing there for the number 89 of Justin Potts. Dylan Emerson trying to catch up, though, sitting back there in P number 2, and Chris Ledford back there in 3rd. Thomas O'Connor trying to hold off the so hot number 9 of Tiffany Ellis, as she's been on a pretty good streak with some great finishes. I would not be surprised if fighting for a points lead here, as she does make it around the 18th to take away P number 4.
Thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight, as first time in a while we have 2 road courses in one night. Obviously coming off of Spa, rainy Spa, and luckily we were able to catch a quick flight from Belgium over here to the States here once again to Charlotte, as no rain in sight here. Luckily there's no rain yet. That's available on. Oof, I see the 64 bouncing through the infield here. No rain available for the NASCARs. So that they don't have any kind of rain tires yet. You certainly can't do rain on the ovals, and that I get. I know it would be interesting. I don't know how fun it would be to see these drivers have to go 180 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's a puddle. See how that works out. But it would be cool to see them have rain in the road courses, because they have run rain already, and they in real life they have wipers, they can do it. So I'm not asking for them to put it on ovals, because on ovals when it rains they red flag the race. They don't race while it's raining, and they got to get the jet dryers out there, and maybe that's what we need. Maybe we can have some rain in the in some leagues, and have the admins have to go out there in in jet dryers and dry the track off for everybody. But correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, I don't think that 24 left front is really pointing the right direction here. It definitely looks like some damage here for Will O'Connor.
Take a look. Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage on his left front. So just
looks like the wheel is kind of jacked in a little bit.
We'll go into his pit, or his cockpit, and see how he's working. See, look, a little straightaway going here. It doesn't seem too bad. I've seen worse.
One thing you do see, you see it in there in turn one. It's not exactly smooth in these next gen cars at the road course. It is when you're going nice and slow, but you'll certainly see it. I'm sure through this section right here. If you go off track, it's definitely not going to be that smooth. Right on cue there, but you see right there through this section, really, really bumpy, because these suspensions are made for compressing into the banking. They're not made for giving a lot and going through these rolling corners back and forth. So not exactly smooth, and it probably gives the driver a chance to just breathe once you get back on the oval.
Yeah, like a little bit of normalcy, I guess. I do know that pit roads, speed limit racing, they do race other different cars throughout the week, or at least multiple times a week, and they do have a little Monday night GT3 series, and I've already told them I'm coming out, Carl. I mean, my Mondays are free for a while, so gonna go out there and venture around with the pit road speed limit drivers. Obviously build camaraderie. We get along really well with all the leagues that we broadcast, and I asked if I could come out, and they were Cody was kind enough to say sure. So I'm gonna show up, and if I can add anything or help, or maybe even get my butt kicked, who knows? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been on the track for just short sprints and random tracks, other than the special event tracks like Spa and Daytona, Atlanta, and the ones that everybody knows. Those I'm sure have a tendency to do really well on anyways, but it's the ones like Yokoyama, Chicago, Miami, tracks like that don't have a lot of time in myself. So a little more even playing field, maybe a little more time behind some road cars, but definitely looking forward to mixing it up here with the drivers.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get in there as well. I did mention that I may get out there, and it may have to be CRN versus the league here. CRN versus Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, and see what we can do, teaming up together against these drivers out here. Yeah, I'm interested to see how they tackle these road courses as well. I mean, seeing it here tonight, but that's in a car that's not meant for the road. These cars again are not meant for these road courses, so be interested to see what they can do when they get out there and do a little GT3 racing, and at the very least, gives us a chance to let our hair down, get a little practice in as well, because God forbid we get out there in a car and instead of watching cars for once. But either way, a pretty good race.
Half of my rig.
Yeah, exactly. A pretty good race right here for fourth place still, as Chris Lefford still holding off the 9 of Tiffany Ellis. Some more battles through the field, as we got Jay Monin trying to run down and chase down Brian Roy. We got Michael Garcia back there in 12th, trying to run down Cody Handler. Richard Covington Jr. trying to make his way up through the field here as well. But for the most part, not too much moving and shaking other than Dylan Jacobs being up 13 spots up into 6th place right now. Biggest mover on the way back, TJ Hanley, obviously, he didn't start the race, but looks like he's in the race now. 4 laps down, back there in 21st position. Kyle Emerson losing 11 spots. Now, again, not sure what the black flag was for, but he is back there in 18th spot, down 11. And he is, I believe, 1 lap down here as well. Cody Handler now into pit lane. I don't see any kind of damage on that car never mind, there it is. Now that he came away from the wall, I do see some damage on the front left, so maybe that's why he's coming in, or maybe it's the opening of the pit window, because we're here on lap number 10, about to complete it and get 11 laps in the books here, so getting close to the halfway point. I mean, to me, it seems like this is going to be a one-stop race here, but with Handler stopping this early, is it too early, and is going to force him to make a little stop and go at the end? We did see Matthew Hake in on lap number 8 as well, and now we see Chris Ledford coming in.
Yeah, and it just could be their strategy, you know, maybe they got some damage, or they're just not happy with the tires, or what might be, you know, and if it, you know, some people might come in at 15, some come in at 10, who knows what, like I said, I don't know the how long they could go out there with their fuel that they're provided here tonight, but I could see them coming in and taking a fast repair, especially if the cars drive like a pile of doo-doo. So but yeah, some people in the pits, Chris Ledford, Jay Monin's in the pits now as well, and Will O'Connor down in the pits as well. So, and he's got some damage as well. So definitely correcting that number 24 to get back out there, and you know, trying to, you know, it's tough, you know, you get out there and like you said, there's only kind of one, you know, you gotta survive, you know, and a lot of road racing, typically, if you can just stay out of trouble and run your race, you're gonna usually finish pretty well. And that would, you know, if everybody did it, you know, everybody would finish pretty much where they started. You know, the battles might be here and there, but you're not gonna have like big movements to the field. And I mean, Dylan Jacobs is just kind of a prime example of having either a bad qualifying or just you know, maybe losing it or cutting the corner here, because it is easy to get X's here. You'll see them cutting these corners up pretty well, trying to stay off, especially that last call them sausage turns, and they'll launch the cars. And I was watching practice here a little bit as I was setting up, and a couple coming over that last bus stop and kind of launching and getting all 4 tires off the air. It's kind of entertaining. But Tiffany Ellis bringing the number 9 down on the pits, relinquish her spot to get some service on that car here and get back out there after it gets all filled up. So Justin Potts still out there, Carl, stretching this thing here as we're now on lap. Well, yeah, we only have 13 laps to go.
Yeah, we are at the halfway point here tonight, and I think it's about time we listen to how these drivers are handling this road course here tonight for the Roval. Give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
A little love to hear it.
Sights and sounds of the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series here at the Charlotte Roval. We've now seen the pit cycle go all the way through. Everyone has made their one and only pit stop here tonight. Dylan Emerson and Thomas O'Connor are electing not to take tires, and they're sitting now second and third. Emerson coming out just behind Justin Potts, who does have new tires, but Emerson's still trying to run him down, and certainly not out of it just yet. Biggest movers of the race, we got two of them. They're both up 14 spots, and that is Matthew Hake in fourth place, and the man you're right on board with right now, Dylan Jacobs, also up 14 spots. So not sure what it was about starting back there in the field, but it certainly worked out for these two drivers, up in fourth and fifth right now, respectively. Made up for the lack of qualifying, the qualifying errors, whatever it was. Either way, they started back in the field and made it now both up into the top five. So congrats on a good run for both of them. Looks like some more issues for some of these drivers. Turn one seems like it's the biggest issue spot here tonight, but even some drivers having some issues getting the power down coming out of the hairpin up onto the NASCAR oval. You see right there again the glowing rotors from Tiffany Ellis heading into the bus stop, still hanging on to a top five, but got Dylan Jacobs in that green number 5 looking to move back up there. Not sure actually what happened to Dylan Jacobs, because he was just in 5th place, but Tiffany Ellis able to get on by. So either way, it is Potts, Dylan Emerson, Thomas O'Connor, Hake, and Ellis for your top 5. Jacobs, Ledford, Duncan, Monin, and Roy for your top 10.
Yes, and we're even up the battle here up front. Only a half a second behind Justin Potts here to Dylan Emerson as he's trying to track down Potts and hopefully makes a mistake, because there's a battle there, and then right around Dylan Jacobs in front, obviously trying to chase down or Chris Ledford just getting by. So the 5 kind of falling back. Call maybe like you said, the people, their pit stops and strategies, and maybe did not take tires to try to keep that momentum going, as cold tires can be an issue, obviously, but sometimes the cold tires, if you just go out there, get a good lap in, and ease those tires in, and they'll fall into play here. But right now it's all Justin Potts from the beginning here, as leading this thing around here, and just needs to continue and keep hitting his marks, and hopefully keep that number 6 of Dylan Emerson behind him. And then you have Thomas O'Connor back there, and Pete number 3 at the moment, as Matthew Hake is trying to close that gap, but behind a lap car or through the bus stop. Obviously a tricky spot for the drivers to get that heavy car slowed down and get it going across the start-finish line. And it's always this track's always been tricky. I've never had great success here, not like horrible, but not my favorite for sure. And especially with these cars, it's all about making sure you get the car slowed down. And I think, Carl, when it comes down to these road races, and I think with the old cars, is that I do too much road racing in cars that actually are designed to get around these corners. Yeah, and have the downforce, and you're used to the braking points and how well the cars turn, and how you need to handle them cars. And so when you jump in another car that's not designed for that, you find yourself making mistakes and overshooting corners and not being able to handle the weight transfer, or you just feel like you're going too slow and you think that you're doing it wrong. And usually what ends up happening, overdriving a car, we could see hitting them curbs. What does fix the car here? You see about 24 get Will O'Connor doing some Dukes of Hazzard stunts there temporarily, but right now Dylan Emerson is now your leader, as he did get by Justin Potts. So let's see if we can find that on the track right here. We'll see the pass here for the lead. Let's see what happened to Justin. There's out of turn number 1. Oh, and Potts hits the wall.
Yeah, again, turn number 1, claiming another victim. Luckily, Potts able to keep it going, and hopefully those new tires can get him back in the mix. But I was just about to mention that Potts hasn't won since race number 2 at Dover, and looking for his second win here tonight. But the man leading right now, as good a season as he had last season, he is looking still for his first win this season, and in prime spot right now as they're getting ready to finish 22 laps here tonight, which means we're going to be down to only 3 laps to go here at the Charlotte Roval, and we'll see if you know, the 6.6 miles, 6.8 miles roughly that that Dylan Emerson still has to complete is going to go by quick enough for him to get his first victory of the season, lock himself into the chase, and join the rest of his competitors. And hopefully on the core website we can get everything squared away, because as I mentioned, still showing incorrect on the core website, showing with Chase Bullard still with a win on there. Obviously that was changed via admins to Tiffany Ellis, so that's why Tiffany does actually have 2 wins on the season, not 1, and Chase Bullard still looking for his first win. But right now Dylan Emerson looking for his first win and trying to get it here with only about 2.5 laps left here at Charlotte, but it's not over at all. Justin Potts has led this race from the beginning, has been the dominant car, but one little mistake, and it really could have been technically a big mistake. You see the damage on the front of that number 89 machine, not exactly aerodynamic, or as aerodynamic as it was. Seems like he's still got the handling in the car, but he's going to need everything and then some to try and catch that 6 and maybe have a chance yet at this win. It's only it's still less than 2 seconds in between them, but he's got to be mistake-free.
And obviously iRacing picking up crashes, and I think it's just people just slowing down for some of these corners. I'm going to go back here and just check out what happened with Austin Wells. I just see him just super slow going across the start-finish line down turn number 1, but I think that was just to allow somebody to go by. No, actually sliding a little bit here. So Carl, turn 1, the treacherous turn here tonight for most of these drivers. As you know, we've going down here, but you can see going in here to the final turn.
This just happened right here in lap car of Bruce Spencer, slowing up Dylan Emerson, and that's got the lead from 1.8 seconds down to 1.1, just like that. So a little bit of life breathed in here for the 89, and we'll get you back live here and show you what that distance looks like. And you see some more lap cars getting involved here, and hopefully, yep, the 67 is going to move out of the way, and that's Jay Monin in 9th place. So only the top 8 left on the lead lap at this point. But you see the distance down now to 1 second. Can Justin Potts reel him in? Don't look like there's any more lap cars that are going to play a party unless somebody has an incident, unless somebody needs to make a late pit stop, whatever it is. This could just be mano a mano here, and it looks like the 6 is getting through the bus stop just a little bit better than the 89, and Emerson does have the fastest lap of the race with a Justin Potts has the fastest lap of the race with a 123.69, 4/10 of a second faster than Dylan Emerson. He's going to need to be a full second plus faster on this last lap, because the white flag is out. 1 more lap to go here at the Roval.
Got 1 more lap here for Justin Potts to try to catch up to Dylan Emerson and you know, try to get that mistake back. You know, that was a little bit too much power there through turns number 1, and ended up tagging the wall. And kind of lucky that he didn't get a meatball crawl, and even luckier that he still has some pace in that car. And I'm pretty sure it's what's holding him back right now from closing the gap, and has to take some chances here late on if he's want to get that chance or that opportunity to maybe even get around, but maybe just looking to get a good finish here. You know, kind of when your car gets beat up and you're that close and it's just kind of out of reach because your car is beat up, you just kind of want to get it finished out, you know, after having a, you know, kind of a race-ending mistake here in this case. Putting him not didn't end his race, but you know, took away the win here. So, but a great run here as Dylan Emerson makes his way through the final bus stop here. Is one more time up on the oval part of the track here through the corners. This would be turns 3 and 4 that come down to a little short shoot. There is a lap car in there. Is it going to be enough to slow up Dylan Emerson? The gap has closed. Is down to 0.7 seconds, but coming out, not able to get the run. It's going to give that win to Dylan Emerson and go back to Matthew Kay because he's working his way through right now. And it looks like the number 83 is going to come away with a 3rd place finish here tonight. Thomas O'Connor just in front of Tiffany Ellis, going to finish in P number 4. And like, huge shout out there for Tiffany for getting at least the top 5 here tonight. So good run there for the number 9. I'm sure that will work well for points totals going into the rest of the season. Chris Ledford finishes back here in 6th as he's working his way around. There is no battles on the field, so everything is kind of done and dusted. Just waiting for everybody to kind of come across for the final time, as it does look like they're almost all finished up here. 71, and then working his way
Not
through
sure.
here.
Not sure
Nice and gentle.
5 of Dylan Jacobs, because he was up there in the top 5. He was ahead of Tiffany Ellis. It slid all the way back to 8th place. No meatball flag just yet, not required damage, but clearly something happened to that 5. And now the question is, does he have enough power in that thing to get it all the way to the end of the race? Seems like he's really trying to limp that thing around and milk it all the way around to get this thing complete. He's the last car on the lead lap, I believe. No, here is Jay Monin, and gonna lose another spot here late. Last corner, last lap pass. Jay Monin is gonna get to 67, I believe, up to 8th place. There's another battle in here to the final corner as my son right alongside me doing the 6-7 here. When the 6-7 is gonna get ahead of Dylan Jacobs, but I think he was a lap down compared to Jacobs. So technically passed him at the line, but didn't matter. It was not gonna be for 8th place anyway. So it's gonna be Dylan Emerson getting the win, doing the dance here on the front stretch. So congrats to him. We'll get a chance to talk to him, as well as Justin Potts, Matthew Hake for your top 3. Thomas O'Connor, Tiffany Ellis, Chris Ledford, Josh Duncan, Dylan Jacobs, Jay Monin, and Brian Roy, your top 10. They got Cody Handler, Richard Covington Jr., Ron Millam, Kyle Emerson, and Michael Garcia, your top 15. Anthony Emerson, Kelly Akron, Will O'Connor, TJ Hanley, able to pick up a couple spots, finishing in 19th. Austin Wells, Bruce Spencer, rounding out your 21 car field. Pretty good one here tonight, Jimmy. I mean, certainly with no cautions, it flies by really quickly, even though it's 25 laps here on the Roval. It's a decent amount of laps here, certainly enough to get in some trouble. But man, we always talk about road courses and where's the lawn chair seat where you want to be. Well, clearly tonight was turn number 1.
Turn number 1, claiming victim to a lot of drivers, even your second place finisher, Justin Potts. So it's one thing to come out here and race these cars each and every week, around the oval, and then to kind of get out of your comfort zone. And some obviously a little more comfortable than others, and that's showing out here tonight. Only 8 drivers finishing on the lead lap, and here's your results as follows: as Dylan Emerson, Justin Potts, Matthew Hake, then Thomas O'Connor and Tiffany Ellis for your top 5. Chris Ledford, Josh Duncan, and Dylan Jacobs will be on the lead lap. And then in 9th place is going to be Jay Monin. Brian Roy finishes in 10th. Cody Handler back in 11th. Richard Covington Jr. in 12th. Ron Millam in 13th. Kyle Emerson in 14th. Michael Garcia in 15th. Anthony Emerson in 16th. Kelly Akron in 17th. Will O'Connor finishes back in 18th. And then the rest of the field here will be in 19th. TJ Hanley, after not starting the race, and then 20th would be Austin Wells and Bruce Spencer for your 21 car field here tonight at the Charlotte Roval.
We got our top 3 ready for some interviews, so let's go ahead and start them off. We're going to start with our 3rd place finisher here tonight, and it's going to be the 83 of Matthew Hake. Matt, first question has got to go to the qualifying. We've seen you started back there in 18th. You were the hard charger here tonight, finishing up 15 spots to get yourself on the podium. What was going on with qualifying? Were you able to just not put in a lap here tonight? Were you maybe not allowed to put in a lap? Because starting this far back in a Roval is not exactly what you want to do.
I had to start the race with an EOL. I had a penalty from the last race last week, so.
Well, I would certainly do it and give you a little bit of something to work on for this race for sure, because getting through the field here, definitely doable. As I mentioned, the Roval here, not exactly the toughest road course out there, and plenty of passing opportunities, but you still had to work your way through 15 other cars to get to 3rd.
Yep. I did. It was just patience and just walking around traffic. That's all I really had to do.
Well, the race was certainly a fun one for us up here tonight. It seemed like turn number 1 was the biggest struggle for everyone out there here tonight. Did you have any kind of issues yourself?
Mine was turn 7. I had a little bit of problem in turn 7. Turn 1 wasn't too bad for me.
Oh, that's good. You survived it, because there was quite a few drivers that did not survive turn 1 here tonight and end up getting some meatballs. But you get yourself up here into third place after having to start from the back. So congrats on the run through the field, finishing up here on the podium. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
First off, I wanted to thank TH Designs for my paint scheme this week. He did a great job on it, and TJ is always a good painter, as you guys know. And to all the rest of the people in the field, it was a lot of fun tonight trying to get past everybody.
Well, it was certainly a job that you did well here tonight, so congrats again on the third place. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you back on the ovals next week.
I'll see you next week.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, Matthew Hake in the 83. Second place here tonight, it looked like he was in line for a win, but unfortunately going to have to settle for second place. It is Justin Potts in the 89.
Hey, Justin, Jimmy Carlton, Booty copy.
I've got you all loud and clear.
After a fantastic qualifying effort in a leading majority of this race, one mistake was the demise of the 89 here tonight. So give us a little rundown and maybe what happened there in the final few laps that kind of gave this thing away for you.
Oh, I'm still mad. I was talking with Emerson. So going into turn 1, coming out of 1, that bump, I took the hardest blink of my life. Like, my eyes were watering. I was like, I'm a blink for like a quick second. No, it was super long. Evidently, I smashed the gas pedal like it was nothing and decided to hit the inside wall and give it to Emerson, which, is what it is, but I ain't complaining for a P2.
No, you had a fantastic run. Definitely had a lot of speed out there in the 89, and I give you big props, man. It's hard to toss these heavy cars around on an oval, on a not oval track, and get a good race. So you did a fantastic job, and even able to drive a banged up car there and keep it almost within range, almost giving Dylan a run for his money there at the end. I think if you would have not had as much damage, I think maybe we even had the opportunity to get that spot back, but like you said, it happens, whether it's a blink of an eye in your case or, a computer going out, sometimes things just happen. So, but we want to recognize you and having a great run, getting that pole here tonight, leading so many laps, and say congratulations, and then give you a little time for any shots you might have at number 89.
I just want to shout out my parents for allowing me to do this every week that I can. I want to shout out my mom for a happy early birthday. Her birthday is Friday, July 10th. So I want to wish her an early happy birthday. All my friends and family, my brand, Potts Designs and Potts Graphics. This is the scheme that I ran last week, but the spec map on it decided to go haywire and, make it look terrible, but I fixed it up for this week.
Yeah, definitely a good looking machine.
Oh, yeah. It's a reference off of Ryan Priest's 2024 Coke 600 car. So I was like, might as well. But shout out to Dylan. That was a wonderful battle. Just wish I didn't slide when I did, but it is what it is. Shout out y'all for broadcasting, and we'll see y'all in Gateway.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing you back on that track. Keep it up there with the number 89. I think you'll get your victory here sooner than later, as there is another road course on the schedule, so maybe you can take advantage of there, or maybe even be good enough to snag a win before then. So I want to say good congratulations here tonight. Thank you for the shout outs, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
As your second place finisher tonight, the 89 of Justin Potts. The man that got the top spot here tonight is going to be the 6 of Dylan Emerson. Dylan, first off, you obviously had a pretty fast car out there tonight. You qualified up there in third, but it took some pit strategy. Only one pit stop here tonight for you guys, and use it to your advantage as you decided to go fuel only here on the pit stop, and it was enough to get you close to Justin Potts, close enough to take advantage when you had the mistake.
Yeah, this is me taking my Kyle Busch bow to all the fans first.
All right.
But yeah, I felt like I was a top 3 car, even in practice. And then obviously qualified third, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna take it easy. And Justin was able to just drive off there, and I was like, I wonder how hard he's running his tires. So I'm like, I'll chill out, see if I can't just take tires whenever we do this one pit stop. And the lap before, or 2 laps before, I was still running really good lap times. I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna fuel only this and see what happens. Then I came out right behind him. I'm like, yes, just hopefully I can force them into a mistake. And thankfully it happened. So I was able to capitalize with being less than a second behind him. So I was super happy.
It wasn't just done and dusted though. Once you got past him, you're able to stretch out and get a gap a little bit, but lap cars didn't exactly help you out here at the end, and he got a little bit closer than comfort.
Yeah. That was a little closer than I wanted, but I seen whenever he had the nose damage, I'm like, I can probably just kind of back up my entries just a little bit and take it a little slower. And when I seen that he wasn't really catching me, I was like, okay, I think we're good here, just chilling. We don't have to force anything to happen and make myself make a mistake.
It seemed like the biggest part of the track that you were gaining on him was the bus stop. I'm not sure if the damage was hurting him rotating through the bus stop or not, but it seemed like you were really able to gain a good amount of time every time you went through there. So that certainly helped out clearly with that being the back half and the final sector of this track. But how does it feel, after last season, after the great season you had last season, unfortunately coming up short, but this season, you finally get your first win. I mean, it took a little bit longer than I'm sure you wanted it to, but you finally crack through here and get your first win.
Yeah, I debated changing my number from 6 because I feel like Brad Kozlowski getting wrecked just about every week. But thankfully, we were able to break through and finally get a good couple points weeks here, plus a win. So I'm really happy to finally be going in the right direction.
Well, hopefully you can continue this momentum as you leave the road courses here this week and you start going back to the ovals, and hopefully you can carry the momentum right back to the ovals here and maybe start stringing together a few wins here in a row. And I mean, next week, Roval Technology. I know it's an oval, but it almost feels like it drives kind of like a road course sometimes with all the shifting that you need to do.
Yeah, and it's a home track for us Missourians and Cody, so it's going to be real fun to get back to the home track where I'm usually pretty fast as long as I don't step on myself, which I did last season, so I'm not happy about that. I need to redeem myself.
So they'll be celebrating in the infield before the race, hopefully after the race as well for the hometown boys there. So congrats again on the win here tonight at the Roval. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I want to thank Tiffany and Maximum Edge Graphics for all her paints that she does for me. She does all of mine, so I thank her each and every week because she is just amazing. And I thank you guys for putting on the broadcast because it's really cool what you guys do for us.
We appreciate that, buddy. You guys put on the action there. We just fill in the jokes we're razzing at each other. Exactly. But either way, congrats again on the win here. Hopefully it kind of springboards you into the back half of this regular season and gets you ready for the chase as well. But either way, you lock yourself in. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Worldwide Technology.
All right, see you guys.
That's your winner here tonight, the 6 of Dylan Emerson, getting it done for the first time this season. It was a good one out here tonight. Certainly, turn one and not playing any favorites, including to the leader here at the end. Unfortunately, Justin Potts not able to get the win here tonight after dominating, leading 18 laps here tonight. But it was 7 laps being led by Dylan Emerson, and more importantly, the last one being led by Dylan Emerson and getting the win here tonight. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. Hit that like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I want to thank the sponsors, Yield and Maximum Edge Graphics as well. But for myself and Jimmy from the Charlotte Roval, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.